Good evening, you're watching Ben Shatliff tonight. It is Wednesday, July 3rd, 2024. This is our final programme before election 2024. On the programme tonight, we have a lot to go through. We'll have a quick look at some of the news stories in just a few moments. Then, I printed off a sample ballot paper just to give you an idea for those people that might be unsure about how to go about voting. I'll not tell you how to vote, but I'll show you what you do when you are going to vote. And I'm also going to tell you about what normally happens at this time of an election campaign, it's a local or general, as they talk about eve of poll. And we've got a very special guest who's going to be joining us as well a little later on. So there's so much going on, so I'll just have to cut the talking down just very briefly. Right, okay, so let's just look at the ITV News app, and I'll put two stories from both the ITV News and the Sky News apps this evening because there is a lot to go through. We've been doing this practically for about 4 or 5 weeks during this election campaign 2024, and we've got a very long and busy night tomorrow night as well. I'll tell you more about that later as well. So much to do because I cannot say any more once those polls open tomorrow until 10 o'clock this evening. I'll explain all about that later as well. Okay, so ITV News are saying the final countdown, leaders last push with 24 hours until polls open. Rishi Sunak is saying we didn't get the election campaigns we deserve. Despair may be the real winner of this election. But another news story which is not linked to the election at all. The daughter of Sir Captain Tom Moore, Hannah Ingram Moore, and her husband Colin have been disqualified from acting as charity trustees following an investigation. The Charity Commission opened a case into the foundation shortly after the 100-year-old died in 2021 and launched its inquiry in June 2022. And Sir Mark Cavendish has won a record-breaking 35th career Tour de France stage win with victory on stage 5 in St. Vulvas. Max Missal, who's 39, postponed his retirement by a year in a bid to break the record after crashing out of the Tour in 2023. Let's go to the Sky News app and let's just see some stories which are non-election related on there. And Jade Slater's family are to remain in Tenerife to continue the search for the missing teenager. It comes after police on the Spanish island called off the land hunt on June 30th following 12 days of looking for the 19-year-old Briton. It was last heard of on June 17th after setting off to walk back to his accommodation, a journey of about 11 hours. And a boy aged 17-year-old student who got into difficulty in the sea during a school trip died in what his college principal described as a tragic accident. The boy was part of a group from Uxbridge College in West London who were visiting the beachside village of West Wittering near Chichester, West Sussex, to celebrate the end of term. Obviously, thoughts are with his family there. Sad news. 6 weeks ago today, it was raining outside number 10 Downing Street. The Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, stepped outside to call the 2024 general election. It was something which had been anticipated for a very, very long time. Everybody appeared to be geared up for the campaign. Everybody thought the Conservatives might be, but things didn't go according to what their plan was. There was rain, and things can only get better was played in the background as the Prime Minister was giving his speech to call the general election. He did say it will be in the second half of 2024, literally 4 days into the second half of 2024. But we can discuss afterwards what went wrong or what went right for various different political parties. But it's certainly been 6 weeks of a lot of interest and has, in the public opinion on all sides, has been interesting during this particular election campaign. I think I was going to say, I think it's the first time I've ever known an election in July. There was one in June back in 2001 when Labour got a historic second term where they got just as many seats, more or less, as what they did in 1997. And then, of course, there's been elections. The Christmas election that was in December 2019. Most of our elections have been around May time, and then, of course, there was a June election in 2017 as well. That was when Theresa May called a snap election after walking across Snowdonia during the Easter break. As I say, in a few moments as well, we do have a special guest who's going to join us. They're actually already here, but I just want to continue just with what I'm actually just saying just at the moment. So what normally happens at this stage on an election campaign, because effectively once it gets to midnight, or maybe even just before then really, then that's it, campaigning is over. I don't think anyone will appreciate anybody knocking on a door at midnight, but once those polls open at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, right through until 10, that is the actual, what they call the knocking up exercise, and that's where people knock on the doors for people who actually said that they're going to vote. So let me go through the entire process. At this stage now, leaflets will already be ready, or you will have a card which is already ready from various different political parties. All the canvassing would more or less have been completed either last week or the week before, but a few where maybe people haven't been able to get an answer, or even telephone canvas. So any mopping up exercises in terms of getting last minute canvas, that will all have been done towards the end of last week, maybe over the weekend or early this week, depending how far parties were advanced in it. Each political party will know who has been their promise. And when I say their promise, they're the ones who will say they are definitely a firm supporter. So it could be a firm Labour, it could be a firm Conservative, a firm Liberal Democrat, a firm Reform, a firm Workers' Party, a firm SNP, a firm Plaid Cymru, a firm Green. If I missed anybody out, I'm not picking any favourites and trying to be completely impartial by mentioning every name. If I forgot anyone, I do apologise. But each of the parties will know who their firm support is. They will also know somebody that may have switched from, say, like Conservative or from Lib Dem or something like that to Labour, or possibly the other way around. You never know. The polls are against the Conservatives, but you never know. There might still be people who switch from Labour to Conservative. Anything happens in an election. There are shocks and surprises on all sides. That happened in 2019, in 2017, 2015, all kinds of different things. So what will happen then tomorrow? There'll be this Eve of Poll leaflet. Now it's called Eve of Poll, but to be perfectly honest, some will probably be posted out tonight, but some will have a plan to go out first thing in tomorrow morning, because as those polls open at 7 o'clock, some people will be going to the polling station before they go to work. Some will go after they come back from work. So that is why they'll have this Eve of Poll leaflet or card which will say your candidate has called today, please do not forget to vote. They'll start doing those tomorrow morning. And then what will happen a little later, a couple of hours, maybe once people have actually officially risen, people will then start knocking on the doors. Have you been out to vote today? And if someone said yes they have, they'll probably say, did you vote for us? That's what we used to do when I used to be enrolled in all the politics 14 years ago, or maybe a little less than that. And then they might say, no, I've voted for somebody else. Or if it's a local and a general on the same day, they might say, well, I've voted for one party nationally, I've voted for somebody else locally. That's what happened to you as well 14 years ago, but never mind. But anyway, so this is just giving an idea as to what then happens tomorrow. And then when they call again, if nobody's answered, there'll be another leaflet that will be going through the door, another card. It might say, we called this morning, and there'll be one for lunchtime, one for afternoon, until eventually evening. Somebody might even say to you, would you like a lift to the polling station? As simple as that. If you want a lift and someone's offering it, then and you can't get about, then of course you can accept a lift, because they are saying they are on behalf of somebody. If there's any issues, then you can say, right, okay, well, such a person gave me a lift and they're on behalf of you. So that is what happens there. Somebody might offer you a lift to the polling station. You may have already voted by post, but there's been chaos regarding postal votes. You have already received it today. Do not worry. That postal vote can still be taken to the polling station. As long as it is there before 10 o'clock tomorrow evening, then that's fine. As long as it's there. Do not put it in a post box on Friday. It's tough. Your vote will definitely not be counted. If it goes in a post box tomorrow, and it's before 10 o'clock, they used to do a mop up around 10:15, going around all post boxes to see if there's any post votes. I'm pretty sure, but I cannot be definite there. But I cannot guarantee that they will still do that tomorrow evening. But if after all the fiascos have gone in postal votes, they probably will do, just to make sure that all postal votes are in as well. Okay, so when it actually comes to actually going to the actual polling station itself, then there are small little cubicles that you go in, which are all opened, but they'll have a shelf on there. When you go in, you show your voter ID, so that way they can determine who you are. You also take your polling card with you as well, so it's important to take all of these documents, so that at least that way people know exactly who's who. You'll show them to the agent who's there, and they will then give you a ballot paper. Now, I have printed off a sample ballot paper. I don't even, this could have been a real one, I really do not know, but I printed it off just to give an idea. So you will then go to the actual polling booth itself, and you will then put an X, right? There are various different boxes there. One's Labour, one's Conservative, Lib Dem. I can't make out what the other two are. But anyway, whatever it is, you put the cross, you'll put an X. Now look, just because I'm going to use this, there's no preference here. You just put an X wherever. So there's one there on each of them. That way I'm not giving you an idea as to who I have already voted for. So that's just giving an idea there as to how you vote. What you then do, you then fold it in half, and there'll be a ballot box. And what you then do, you put it in that ballot box. You then leave the polling station. You voted. You then go and enjoy the rest of the day. But then at 10 o'clock, you come and listen live to what I've got to say for the entire evening. Not completely non-stop in breaks. That is how you go about voting. You may even find, as you've left the polling station, this has never happened to me, but then again, I've only voted at the polling station a few times because I've been doing postal vote now for quite a few years. But you might then get somebody asking you if you voted, and maybe might be one of the ones who's part of doing the exit poll. So answer the question, because that's your name's not going to be taken. You'll be a number, but it will give an idea then for the exit poll for 10 o'clock. You might also get number takers from the political parties as well. I've done that myself when I've been involved in politics. It was asked for the polling number, that way you just know that somebody's voted. That gives the parties then an idea as to who's voted as well, and it will stop somebody knocking at your door later on, or at least it should do. So if you give somebody your number, if they're thinking you're going to be voting for them, then that should stop them knocking on your door. And if somebody says something, then if somebody does knock on, you can say, well, I've already given my number. So that is an idea as to what happens on election day itself. Each of these political parties will all have their own campaign committee rooms, as they call them. Campaign rooms sounds a lot better in one sense. Campaign centres where people will go and then they'll say you're going to have to vote. So they get the idea then, because don't forget, each of these parties want to know whether their vote has got it, and that people have gone out to actually vote for them. It's the same across all the various parties, even independents. Everybody will all be working on a very similar way. So that is why some people might think, and I didn't know this myself, this might sound daft now, and it does sound daft, I think it's daft myself, but you didn't think to yourself, when I was first involved in politics, election day yourself, you've been busy. Well, that's the busiest day, because you've got to make sure that you're getting out that vote. You need to get those people out to come vote for you. So that's what happens, and people will be out knocking on doors right up until the latest possible time that somebody can be there at the polling station to make sure that every vote counts. Now, I've already said on one of my videos, there'll be some other videos posted as well. it is important that you go out and vote tomorrow. If you've got your postal votes at home now, make your vote. It's important. People fought. In parts of the world, people do not have the right to vote, even now in 2024. It's our own democratic right, so it's important we do go and vote. Every vote counts. Every vote can make a difference as well. Okay? In a few moments, I'll be explaining about what will be happening from tomorrow evening. I will not be posting anything on social media until it gets to 10 o'clock tomorrow evening. I'll say all about that in a few moments. But as well as the election campaign that's going on, and of course, we've got the football. England are playing against Switzerland at 5 o'clock on Saturday evening, and we've still got our Manchester Stands with Ukraine rally between 2 and 3:30, which is taking place on Saturday as well at Piccadilly Gardens. So everything is still going on. Certain things that's not been mentioned though during this election campaign is the fact that once again there is going to be a road run taking place in Prestwich, which will be happening on Sunday. So we do finally have a guest. I've been asking people to come on to this programme over recent weeks from the election. We don't have a politician, but I'm pleased to welcome my father, Frank Shatliff, who's just coming to join us just to talk about what's going to be happening on Sunday. So please come on. This is all live as well. Don't forget. So
thanks, Ben.
Welcome back. So just on Sunday, it's the road run. This is the fourth one as well.
That's right. It's the fourth charity Prestwich Classic Commercial Road Run. It's a bit of a mouthful, but we try to help charities with what we do.
Okay.
The plan is to invite people with classic commercial vehicles to take part in what we call the Old Mill Town Road Run. That's parts of Lancashire and Yorkshire. It's a 55-mile round trip from Tesco Prestwich back to Tesco Prestwich. And there will be refreshments for all the entrants. Also, one or two prizes. Different little things to encourage people to turn up with classic vehicles. The reason behind the classic vehicles is because this country, going back years ago, they're one of the biggest, largest commercial vehicle manufacturing bases possibly in the world. Unfortunately, there's none now.
Right.
So all the vehicles, what you see, have been completely renovated and brought up to the way they were originally. And it's absolutely brilliant the way it's done, and credit to all the owners and people that do restore them.
And like you said, this is the fourth one that you've actually done in relation to this.
Yeah.
This is not emotion coming over to touch of anything. I do apologise. So this is, what time exactly are you going to be starting on Sunday? Because I think there are a few changes.
Yeah, we've been asking people who are well, it's not a competition. We're actually asking people who are taking part in the road run to assemble at 9 o'clock at Tesco. We'll have a team there on Saturday night who will be calling everything off. We'll have people there on Sunday morning. They will be sorting out all the essential parts, the information tents and all that type of stuff. So it'll all happen on Sunday. Hopefully we get a good turnout of classic vehicles. Personally, I've been down to different locations, big events. Some people call them trucks, we call them lorries. We've been to events in Lynn, Midway in Cheshire. We've been to the Midway in Shropshire. We've been to Astle Park in Cheshire. We've been to Carnforth in Lancashire, trying to encourage people to come to ours. Now, whether they do come to ours, hopefully they will, we'll find out on Sunday.
Right.
We can only go off what people tell us. In other words, if they say they will do something, we have to take the word for it. Right? So that's it. I know for a fact there are some really, really nice vehicles for them.
Right. That's very good. And of course, for anyone that's going to come along, which to watch these lorries as they're going to be leaving and returning, etc. And also there might be a possibility, depending on the scenario, that people can to go inside lorries, but that depends on the owners, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. I'm sure some of the owners don't want to be too pleased to, show people, particularly the youngsters, because the youngsters don't even know we had an industry all those years ago. Every vehicle you see now is European.
And is the of course, Britain is part of Europe as well. Europe in the geographical sense, of course.
Absolutely, but they didn't make Leyland vehicles in Europe. They made it here. That's the point I'm trying to make.
But we are Europe though. Let's not. So that's a touchy subject for me though, in terms of Europe. But in terms of but the event is free of charge though to anyone.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, people can buy programs and make a donation. Of course, this is important. The £2 each the programs, aren't they?
The program is £2 each, but people can make a donation to do whatever they want. It's a good cause. It's a scout group, and I think it's important that we try and help, like scout groups, and ease the pressure on parents having to worry about having to pay for camps and stuff like that.
Exactly.
If we can do that, it's a little bit, a little bit of help. But there's one thing to make note of here actually. We've got a vehicle coming. It's 50 odd years old, right? And it's still a working vehicle. In other words, it's still earning its con, what we call it, transport. It goes out on deliveries around the country, even at that age. So it's a credit to the owner. And that's, that'll be there on Sunday.
Right, okay. Just because something might be 50 years of age, though, doesn't mean to say it's past any kind of a sell by there.
No, if it's a lorry, it's unusual for it to still be working at that age.
Right. Is there any? You've mentioned there some call them lorries, some call them wagons, or even some call them trucks. Is there any actual? I mean, okay, they are different names or something, but is there any actual difference though between them?
Well, a truck,
or does it depend on whereabouts?
Well, American Express is a truck, but a truck in my youth was something on a platform at Victoria Station.
A train?
No, a truck where you pull a luggage about.
Right.
So we always call them lorries or wagons. That was it. Something that's been passed down for years, really.
Right. Okay. And do you think there will be any politicians that will show up with it being the weekend after the election, or do you think they'll all be busy trying to get positions or?
It's highly unlikely. I'm quite honest, with all due respect, to not to develop. Because we do stuff. We don't want to politicise it, whatever you want to call it. We've seen enough of that over the years. Obviously, what I do is hopefully build some funds for good causes and do it in a nice way. See some nice vehicles. We see some fantastic people, lots of as well. And that's all we need to do.
That's good. And there's different other things that, as well as looking at the trucks and things, the lorries, the vehicles, whatever you want to call them. As well as that, though, is there is there things that people can buy and stuff like that?
Well, in terms of the lorries coming in, no, there's not. No. The thing is, Tesco are great, but they're fairly limited what we can do.
Right.
I mean, if you went to other events, you've got people selling different types of clothes, all that stuff, with BRF on or phone or whatever the case may be. It's no, we just stick it to the road run, charity event, and that's basically it, really.
Okay. So that is taking place on Sunday. Hopefully the weather will be okay. But then again, even if it's not, they will still be in the run anyway, won't they?
I mean, surprising as it is, some owners won't bring their vehicles out if it's raining. Believe it or not, you've got old vehicles, and if it's raining, it's more so in the winter time. It's salt on the ground and stuff like that. It takes a lot of looking after. So they've got to look after them.
Right. Okay. That's this Sunday. Prestwich and Tesco Prestwich. What time again did you say?
Well, they're asking people who are taking part to assemble from 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
The reason for that is the store doesn't open till 9:30. So if people want to go to the toilet and everything, it will be open.
Right.
Any earlier, it wouldn't be. Although some of the stuff we've put out in terms of publicity has stayed till 8 o'clock. So we didn't take into account the store opening at that time. So we're asking people to assemble at 9 o'clock, and then probably 2 hours after that we'll start the road run. After people got a coffee and brewing a little chat, we'll start the road run. And the road run itself is absolutely, it's really, really a good road run. There's no motorways involved, but all A roads. You head out through there. If the weather's right, it's a photographer's paradise.
And you're going on a run on yourself on
We
Saturday?
always go for a little dummy run the day before, just to make sure there's no sort of roadworks or anything like that. And, that's it really.
Yeah, that's good.
We just hope that we get a good turnout of vehicles. As I say, everything is by word of mouth. People say they will do things, and hopefully they will.
Is there still chance for people to say that they want to come along, or they can still share? Do they need to let you know before the day, or can they just show up on the day?
It'd be nice to let us know, but if they do show up on the day, obviously we'll accommodate them really. Right. But you need to sort of plan stuff. Right? In other words, the entrance to the venture with the vehicles, the hospitality is there for those people. Refreshments. So we cater for so many.
Right.
So if people just turn up, obviously, it just makes it hard work.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much indeed. All the very best. I will be there showing support on Sunday as well. We won't discuss the election, but on Saturday evening there is the England versus Switzerland. It's gone from Slovenia to Slovakia to Switzerland. How do you think England will go on Saturday against Switzerland?
Against Switzerland, you're going to win 3-1.
Right. Okay.
Simple as that.
Maybe you might be better telling Mr. Southgate that, providing that's.
We need to think positive.
Yeah.
It's our country. Simple. Okay.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much indeed for coming on. Right. Okay. So don't forget, of course, on Sunday to go along to Tesco Prestwich for the actual for the road run. Okay. Right. Well, 6 weeks, and we've ended up with a nightly edition of Ben Shatliff tonight. Something I once dreamed of, maybe able to do something on a nightly edition. Thank you once again for everybody. Thank you for my father, of course, for coming on talking about the road run. Thank you to my nephews, Josh and Zach, who helped in the preparation of Ben Shatliff tonight in terms of putting together the YouTube videos, especially when I went to Media City a few weeks ago. Actually, one sense seems a short time ago, another sense seems a long time ago, and also for giving me some guidance on putting some other videos together, which I've just put onto TikTok, but also for getting some extra subscribers to Ben Shatliff Online, because I've said this many, many times, and I'll continue to say this, and I will say it tomorrow night as well, but the more people that we get to subscribe, and the more people that we get to like it, the more we can do this. I mean, okay, I'm stood up in front of a wall, like I've done different things, and maybe a little bit better than some of the techniques that we used when we first started doing this 3 years ago, or almost 4 years ago. But we'd like to get more better technically equipped and everything else. So the more people that like, subscribe, the more people that do, the more that we can do this, not just on a nightly basis, but a lot more often. Right, okay. Tomorrow evening at 10 o'clock, you can join me on Ben Shatliff Online, on YouTube, Ben Shatliff Online, for election 2024, the People's Verdict. Now, you're watching this on YouTube, but just in case I don't see the snippet of this elsewhere, all you do, go onto YouTube, put in Ben Shatliff Online, and then hit subscribe, and also tick for the notifications as well. Now, I know I do have a lot of younger viewers, and I know that Friday is a school day, and it's also a working day as well. But if you don't want to be woken up by alerts from Ben Shatliff Online, it might be best to switch the alerts off just for election night. But if you're going to be staying up all night, you can keep them on. But I'm just saying, because I'm going to be doing coverage from 10 o'clock tomorrow evening. There'll be an exit poll which will be pre-recorded while I then sum up all the other exit polls, and I'll be back on air around either 10 past 10 or 10:15 to be a chance to absorb some of the others, and then we'll have our first live insert. Now, I will be staying up throughout the night, okay? I did initially say till 2 a.m. What we'll do at 2 a.m., we will see what the situation is. If there are a lot of counts and we manage to get a huge, massive thing, where it's looking at 2 a.m., where it's going to be going on longer, we'll make a decision, see how things go. 2015 and 2017, I was up all night, so that could quite easily happen again this time. So that is it. Use your vote. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. Ben Shatliff Online returns live tomorrow evening throughout the night, but the first exit poll will be at 10 o'clock tomorrow evening. Thank you very, very much indeed for everybody for staying with me during this campaign and over the last 4 years since this YouTube channel was initially created. Ben Shatliff on Sunday now for almost 3 years. And thank you for staying with me, even though there's been certain times when health issues have stopped me from being able to come on air. But thank you for staying with me. Good night, God bless, and please remember to vote tomorrow. Good night.